Now this video is for those of you that have purchased F1 24 but don't like the handling and you wish it was more like F1 23, or you did not purchase the F1 24 game altogether. This video is the F1 24 cars on the previous game, F1 23. Now I want to be very clear, this is a mod, which means it's only available on PC. So if you have F1 23 on PC, install this mod and you'll have F1 24 car models on the F1 23 game. Before we jump into the racing action at Paul Ricard for a 5-lap race around the former French Grand Prix which got removed, we're going to quickly run through the cars one by one. If you want to get into the race action, timestamp down below, click it, watch it. So let's begin, starting off through the menus, going through F1 World into Showroom and then into F1 23. As you can see, the Red Bull looking immaculate with its high shoulders, of course, which Mercedes originally brought into play in F1 22, and then of course they were in the game in F1 23, but now they belong to Red Bull. Car looking immaculate. We then go to Ferrari, and there is a few limitations with porting over. They've tried to put the Pironi logo on the side pod like in real life, but the actual mapping on the car model doesn't exist, so it's very pixelated. Also because alcohol sponsoring is banned in, real life F1 in certain races, also of course in the game, so normally be a blank space there, but you can see the Ferrari besides that looking pretty sweet. One thing to note is it doesn't seem very matte, it seems more of a gloss finish, which I don't entirely mind. Then we go to Mercedes, probably one of my favourite looking cars on the grid this year. I'd love it if they did something with the wheels, but the actual car, the way they've done the black and the silver this year with the kind of turquoise breaking it all up and the bits of red, I really like their livery this year. And I actually prefer this version without the turquoise stripe running along the Petronas on the side pod. So yeah, the motor looking sweet, and of course familiar with this one in the F1 24 career mode as Hamilton. Alpine. Oh boy, you can see the new version. A few little bugs here, like for example, you can see the number on the nose cone isn't fully, loading in as expected, but you're going to get a little bit of that, but they're very minor bugs. You're not going to be too concerned. You get to experience these cars and race them, and that's kind of what this is all about. So yeah, the rest of the car looking pretty sweet. The McLaren, pretty similar to be fair. They didn't really drastically overdo their car from 23 to 24, so a small visual tweak, but this one of course the quickest car in real life, and yeah, looking pretty sweet in the 23 game. And we have a big one. Here we have Stake, Sauber, Kick, whatever you want to call it. Of course, they had the Alfa Romeo livery in this game, so they've gone from red to green. Also has that kind of number pattern, a little bit of a bug that you can see on the side pod. Luckily, on the nose, it looks okay. So yeah, to be fair, the number doesn't look half bad. Actually, low-key complements the livery. So yeah, looking pretty sweet. This livery has grown on me over time throughout the season, and I'm a big fan of the green, super aggressive and stands out, which is really nice. Aston Martin, a car which was so good in F1 23 and real life as well, and have fallen off in 24, but it looks nice. Definitely a few visual changes and tweaks on this one. The wheels look super blacked out, like the actual wheel hub caps there, as dark as the rubber on the tyres. Actually a really nice car and looks really awesome in this showroom. But yeah, Aston looking sweet. No big visual bugs from what I can tell, so this one should be pretty decent. Now then, Haas, definitely a bit of work needs to be done. The numbers, of course, painfully obvious. There's a bit of a texture bug, as you can see on the side pod. From the front view, though, it's looking sweet. And yeah, I didn't actually realise, I don't know if it's the game or not, but the wheel covers have the MoneyGram and the kind of, colouring detail on there, which I'll have to check if that's actually F1 24, but it's a really nice detail. And this car is actually a decent looking car, in my opinion, on the grid. We go to VCarb, and of course, this replacing the mid AlphaTauri livery. The chrome doesn't quite pop the same way it does in F1 24. You can see it kind of vanishes a little bit and it's a bit lost in the background. When you get that shine on the chrome, it does pop a little bit. Also the rear wing, not much you can do with the Visa Cash App logo on the rear there, so you've got a bit of a mixture of the old white rear wing with the Visa logo now being replaced with Cash App, but generally the car still looking pretty sweet in this game. And last but not least, we have Williams, of course, Albon and Sargent in this one. No color pinto, as you'd expect. To be fair, the car I like the Williams. I love their kind of lots of tones of blue on the livery this year. And from what I can tell, no visual bugs. This one looks pretty sweet in game. So definitely one of the better cars on the grid as well. But anyway, enough waffling. Let's get into a Grand Prix. Now we're going to do this around Paul Ricard, which of course has been removed from F1 24. We don't have it anymore. So this is a scenario which we get to trial and see what F1 24 cars would look like around the French Grand Prix. Now, for this one, we are going to go for one of the better cars to kind of fight through the field. I think we're actually going to go with the Merc in this one, and we'll race as Lewis Hamilton. We'll go as George, because I've done Hamilton in career mode quite a bit in 24, so we'll go as George and have a little bit of fun. I'll go for 105, because I'm jumping in with no practice, and having to readjust to the handling might be interesting, so we'll just go for 105, and hope that we can get a decent race out of it. Here we go, the French Grand Prix at Paul Ricard. It's good to see this track again, I won't even lie. It's good to see this track again, definitely. Hopefully we get it back, we need content. So everything looks in order. We are in the 2024 Merc in the garage. There's Lewis alongside, so everything looks in order. We are in a practice session right now, so we'll just do a couple laps to make sure everything's working good. I've set a one-shot quali to basically retire, and then we'll just do a little 5-lap race. Now, setups, I should have all my setups from the game still on here, so we should have something for Paul Ricard to help us out and hopefully make the car feel a bit nicer. Oh boy, you can really feel the front end difference compared to F1 24. There's just a lack of grip on the front end altogether. Also, I do miss this HUD. This HUD's pretty sweet. Oh, there we go. There's the first track limits of the day. Right, let's knock up the engine mode into standard medium. There's just so much more delay. When you turn the wheel, the front end takes like a good second to 8/10 to kind of respond to what you're wanting to do, whereas an F1 24 it's instant. I mentioned it in my video the other day. I think if you combine the F1 24 front end of the car with the 23 back end, you're going to have a really good handling model. Up to the line, Ocon I think did a 33 something. We do a 32.8, so not bad. Right, I'll do. That's my one lap of practice. Let's go into qualifying. So we'll do the one-shot qualifying, but we'll back out of the last corner to basically drop to last place. If I'm on for P1 for pole, then I'll up the difficulty for the race. So let's get into it and let's see how it goes. So I think we'll actually leave it on 105. I think that's a decent difficulty. I'll try and map an overtake button just to be safe. Now that would have been a very easy second place. Verstappen in a different postcode. So this should be a fun race. I think obviously Max will just disappear, but there's no reason why we couldn't potentially, in a 5-lapper, just go aggressive and try and hopefully carve our way well into the top 8. Anyway, let's get to it. Right, here we go. It's time for the race. We're going to waste no time and jump right in. 9k RPM. I can actually get a good start in this game, unlike an F1 24. There we go, overtake now working beautifully. Also, the AI, hopefully, should be a bit more fun to race against compared to F1 24. Making great progress here already, up to 15th place. Come on then, let's keep it going. Just sneaking through. Look at this. AI definitely a bit pedestrian, albeit on 105, so they probably wouldn't be as bad as this on 110, but for the sake of 5-lapper content, let's keep on rolling onto the back straight then. Looks like we're pretty heavily winged up on the car setup. Oh, we're not going to get challenged by Hulkenberg here, so we'll be fine. We'll take the chicane as normal. Bollard's gone. We're going to sneak around the outside of Ocon and pick that one up as well. Up to 11th already. Alright, come on then. Magnussen next. We'll try and hold a little bit of battery back for the last part of the lap. Into the fast right. Oh, I tried to have a little sneak around the outside there. We'll now just put the juice on and send one up the inside of the left. And already into the top 10 at the end of the first lap. Alright, come on then. Alonso ahead. Absolutely cooking on 105. Probably could have gone a bit higher to be fair. But maybe now we can try and win this instead of trying to finish in the top 8. Maybe that should be the new target. DRS enabled next lap, of course, the prior or the former F1 rules regarding DRS. Oh, great run out of turn 2 on signs. Here we go. Now, interestingly, I forget there's no managing battery modes in this game, so all the overtake I'm using, I need to try and charge it back up in just medium, driving normally. There's no hot lap or anything, so we'll go for a little bit of a brief recharge, having passed so many cars in the first lap and a half of this race, to try and get a bit of deployment back to get the next set of cars up ahead. Stroll's next. There's a track limit. Warning, just getting a bit wide. I can really feel the slower front end through that chicane because I want to flick the direction change through, and it just takes a second for it to kind of process and go through. This corner is great. There's so much grip and downforce, and even on the exit, the back end super planted. Just going to try and see if I can maybe have a look at Stroll here into the last corner. Not using any overtake, if possible. There we go. Exact same move as his teammate a lap ago. And now the DRS will be enabled, so that's going to really open up this race. Verstappen's gone out front. 32-0 from Verstappen. We do match it, to be fair, which is decent pace. So let's see, maybe we can try and go after him. I think second place is going to be the best we can hope for, though. So just trying to pass this little conglomeration of cars. Right, nicely done through that. Already getting dialed in with this game. We go purple sector 1. Let you guys enjoy the engine sound again for a bit. Right, we're cooking again. We've flown past Leclerc and Piastri. Hamilton, Norris, Perez remain. I might even get Hamilton here. I'm going to go for it. Lewis gets out of the way. The braking feels nice. Front lockups don't feel as easy to get as in 24. We go purple. Absolutely cooking here. Let's try and get these two, and then maybe we can race after Verstappen. He looks a little bit far away, but I'll give it a shot. We'll hang on to this little bit of battery we've got right now to try and use it to get past these two. And we'll go for a big last lap send to try and close in on Max. Here we go. Nicely done through there. Right on Norris's gearbox as we head out to the back straight. Perez won't have any DRS. So Norris will likely challenge here, so we'll have to be ready to maybe go around these two. Oh, Perez with a pretty decent straight line speed in the Red Bull there. We get a lovely little switchback though on Norris, and now we're going to use what we've got. Going to get into a slipstream battle here, fighting for Perez's toe. Come on then. We're going to try and sneak the inside line. Straight through. There it is. There's the grip. So now Verstappen, 3 seconds to the good up ahead. I think that's going to be a tricky one to pull back. As we get a second warning there, just trickling out of bounds. Seems like my track penalty or time penalty habits are bleeding back into F1 23. Right, last lap of the race then. Probably won't catch Max, we'll go full send. So one last time. Engine sound, full commitment, here we go. Woo. There we go. Nice little 360. That's a good recovery. But a costly error as it cost us the podium. Just went full commitment through there. Thought I had the downforce and suddenly the back end just went. Kind of like that though, but you could really feel how slow the car was. Even just spinning around, it just felt so sluggish. Verstappen wins. That was a fun one. Got used to that pretty easily actually on the handling front. But P4. Well, there we go, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that video and that race. Definitely a bit of a throwback, and it goes to show the mod works well. I mean, I literally just installed it, drag and drop, and no issues whatsoever. So big thumbs up from me. Really nice mod. And again, you get that scenario of driving these cars around the track, which isn't in the F1 24 game, and everything worked perfectly fine. The AR was super well behaved, and you know, that was only 105. You can go to 110. So there's definitely scaling there to be done, but I thought we got used to the car pretty quickly, and that was a lot of fun. So yeah, really enjoyed that one, and definitely something for you guys to check out if you want to give that a shot. Either way, guys, that's going to be it for me here today for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Like, subscribe. Let's try and smash over 1,500 likes on this one. That's going to be ambitious, but we'll give it a shot. And yeah, I'll leave the mod link down below, guys, to go check it out. Again, this is only possible on PC, so if you have F1 23 on Steam or EA, get it, give it a shot, and let me know what you think. Anyway, a big shout out to the members for supporting the channel, guys, and the videos, as always. Also check out the 2 videos on screen, along with all the links down below to channel partners, discounts, and affiliate codes, and also the mod. And I'll see you guys in the next one very soon. Until then, it's goodbye from me. Ciao.